Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Trust Me When I Tell You podcast. And thank you to all the listeners. Once again, ratings are growing, just like my waistband. Yeah. Remember to follow us on Twitter at TrustWin, on Instagram at Trust Me When I Tell You. I want an Instagram update here before the end of this podcast, by the way. And follow us on the YouTube at youtube.trustme, YouTube/ like Cordell. Trust Me, I tell you. .com. And yeah, how's it, Dan?
I'm good, guy. Thanks for asking. It's what's today? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
We actually got to 30 degrees in Chicago. I still have a sheet of ice on my driveway, which is always lovely. And the Oswego Huskies had their inaugural practice of the season this evening, which comes with plenty of content as always. So I was very thrilled, very happy, and I can't wait to tell you guys all about it.
Can't wait to hear about it. How's it with you, Matt?
Better now. Things are well. Things are well. How's it with you?
It's good. I can't wait to hear all about the old trip home to Ohio. I was doing my best to bite my tongue the whole last episode. So he's got a notebook. He's ready to rock and roll. How's it with you, Kyle?
It's good, man. A lot of FOMO. I got to tell you, I don't remember the last time I actually traveled outside of our short trip to Grand Rapids, but that's like all that I've done in a long time. So Placo's trip to Ohio, the scheduled Creek visit.
Easy
It's
for
gonna
me
be
to
pretty
say.
awesome. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be good.
So, looking forward to hearing about it.
Yeah, buddy. Well, let's do something we forgot to do because we were so excited in total Trust Me When I Tell You fashion last week with Kevin on. Let's give her a shout out to our sponsor.
Amen, brother. Goalieparts.com. Goalieparts.com is here for you, the goalie. It's run, owned by goalies, for goalies. And it's goalieparts.com mission to provide you with all of the tools you need to perform at the highest of levels. They carry everything from helmets and cages all the way down to straps and clips. And they don't stop there either, boys. They're always looking for new high-quality products that will help you play and look your best. It's the goalieparts.com guarantee that if they wouldn't use it, they wouldn't sell it. So go say hi to our buddy Dennis over at goalieparts.com, located inside the Echo Pro Shop, inside the Darien Sportsplex. I see most of us are wearing, well, by most, one is wearing some Twitter, some Trust Me When I Tell You swag. And if you're looking to get some of that, which we had, oh, there we go. Matt's got his beer holder. We actually had one of our
holder is full.
Our second merch call out today. My buddy Johnny bought a couple of hats and he sent me a picture of it. So if you're looking to get some of our merch, some of our hats or winter hats and shirts and jackets, which Hoff is wearing today, you can go to www.trustme.itemorder.com and go get your swag on.
We're pumping up the Carhartt jackets, but I'm telling you, the one I have on right now, I got to get them out for you guys. Super comfy, lighter weight. It'd be a good cover up when we go to the desert for those chilly evenings coming up here.
Lighter weight like us. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. When I see my good friend, Mr. Placo, here in 3 short days. So as you hear this, listeners, we will have already made this trip and hopefully made it back in one piece. But Matt, really looking forward to seeing you in 3 days, my man.
I can't guarantee you'll be back in one piece, but most pieces will be back with you, I'm sure.
Right, ship them home. Goalieparts.com, make sure we get there. But no, I mean, I don't know about you guys, Wash. I was like dying to hear about some of the Ohio stories. I kept getting texts and like, oh, it's with Placo from randos that we're excited to see little Marty back in town. But Matt, you left on Christmas Day. How was that travel experience with the blue flu and all that other stuff coming through the airlines?
It wasn't bad. It was smoother than expected. I didn't really know what to expect, having never traveled on a specific actual holiday, never traveled anywhere other than just, over the road for Thanksgiving or Easter or Christmas or anything. So this is the first time my family and I had flown, and it was absolutely jam-packed. I don't know if it was because the tickets were so cheap that day that everybody, like the Placo family, decided to celebrate Christmas a day early and then travel on Christmas, but it was a-holes to elbows through the terminal trying to get to these flights. So it was very, very surprisingly crowded. But being that it was a holiday, everyone seemed to be in a relatively good mood. I didn't see any fist fights in TSA or any unwanted body cavity searches. It was all relatively smooth sailing all the way to Cleveland, Ohio.
I bet it's good to be back underneath the Briggs and Stratton fan, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was my internal thermometer was all over the place when we were back there. It was hot, I was cold. I didn't have the constant breeze that I get under the power fan.
Would you say the turkey wasn't done?
Oh no, the turkey was well done the whole way through. Safety shirt be damned. You could see I was ready to cut glass the whole
Not just the
time.
neck. Oh, that was awesome. But no, so that's great. My watch reminds me of Home Alone, just what he explained, like coming rushing through the airport. Come on, getting to the gate and all that jazz. But no, so I mean, it's when you sent the text message on when you got back, like when you were coming back home about being delayed, and you know, the what do we call it? With the paperboy hats? Is that what the white hen called it? And,
Yeah, the page boy hats, yeah.
And when Kyle asked me if you had your lighter, that reminded me of smoking lounges. Like, you guys remember the smoking lounges in the airport? And has anyone on the Trust Me When I Tell You podcast ever indulged in partaking in the smoking lounge?
So I don't necessarily remember the smoking. I mean, I remember like walking past it as a kid and stuff like that. The thing that sticks out to me was the ashtrays on the arms of the chairs. Thinking like,
Inside the
In the
plane.
airplane.
you could smoke in the
Yeah.
fucking plane. How insane is that?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought this up because maybe it was 2 years ago now with COVID, but recently I was in a plane that still had ashtrays in the armrests. Like, how old is that plane?
You were used, how the
Right?
fuck did I get stuck on this goddamn 1988 Buick LeSabre of
Seriously.
American Airlines?
Not even.
I hope
Probably
they
earlier
tighten-
than that, right?
Hope they tightened all the bolts on this bird before we took off because there's got to be something
don't,
loose.
don't worry, we swapped out the engines, boys. We're good.
The good news is during pushback they called it Old Faithful, so they said takeoffs match landings, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Nothing go wrong. Let me guess, to and from Maui, because that was mine. Marty, so when you got home on Christmas, was it just straight into all the extravaganza, or was it like let's?
It
I mean,
was-
were you guys just ready to just like let's get everything in immediately?
It was cannonball right into the deep end of family fun. I mean, we went straight to my in-laws where we did Christmas dinner and the kids opened presents with their cousins. And the next day it was my brother-in-law's place. And then the third day it was finally my family's place. So it was just running the gauntlet of seeing all the people that we absolutely had to see, which was great. I mean, those are the people that we're traveling home for, that we wanted to see. The cousins, when I say cousins, on my side of the family and on the Diesel side of the family, outside of one much older cousin, Fletcher, who is 14, is the oldest of about a dozen cousins. So they're all in that 14 to 10 age range. So
Good
it's
range.
a whole
Good range.
different dynamic of them running around and doing stuff, and it's so loud. I mean, the volume at those houses when the kids are just running and screaming and having fun, it's great that they're having a good time. But if I wasn't a drinker, I would be a drinker inside of 10 minutes of getting into one of those houses.
I have a question. What is worse, the volume of all those kids at a constant level, or as all 3 out of 4 of us know, Wash, you're probably getting a sneak peek into it now, how old David is. So is it the volume of the children or the infinite amount of questions your children ask you 24 hours a day? What do you
That's-
think is worse?
Oh, the questions, without doubt, just the rapid fire questions that I get, especially from the youngest of my children. I mean, God love her. She is a sponge that just wants to know everything
I
and
know.
everything about everything. And it just constant.
Duke
I'll
has-
add one more
Yeah.
choice to those two options
Yes.
there, Danny. You could have the super loud, just chaos, constant questions, or how terrifying is it when it is super loud, then all of a sudden you notice it's silent.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's
they're
like
not
a
making
fucking,
a peep.
no, yeah.
What
Yeah.
are they doing up there?
Yeah.
Who's hurt? What's
Yeah.
going on?
No, what's fucking broken?
Yeah.
And what have they gotten
Right.
into and what are you eating?
What are they hiding under their
Yeah.
bed so they don't know that we don't know that they broke it?
I'll tell you, Duke has a fucking power move he pulls on me all the time with these questions, right? So, like, for instance, this is an exact example. We were driving down the street one day, and this was a couple years ago, and we're driving next to a Corvette. And Duke goes, "What is that car?" I go, "That's a Corvette, buddy." His follow-up question is, "What's a Corvette?" And in my mind, I go, "That's a Corvette, motherfucker." Jesus Christ. I don't know how to answer that fucking question. God damn. And he pulled one today too, and I forgot about it. It always made me think of the Corvette. I'm like, oh my God. What's a computer? Or what are you working on? A computer? What's a computer? Oh, fuck.
It's like, is it on purpose to bust balls? Or is
No,
it
I
legit?
don't know. I don't know, but he does it all the time where it's like,
It's pretty awesome.
tell me what that thing is over there. And when you tell me what it is, I want to know what it is.
It's pretty good.
More detail. Give me more
Yeah.
detail.
What's a Corvette? Motherfucker. See that thing? That's a Corvette.
Daddy, can you draw me a picture of air? I'd like to see what it looks like.
Yeah, right. Oh,
God
so
love
Matt,
him,
where was it? When you said broken, it made me think of the leg lamp. But before we get to the leg lamp, where was it when you sent the pictures of getting all the Martell and the just wild parties of just smashing Danimals? Was that all week long, or was that just
That was
wait till
pri-
we get to my family so we can get the Danimals out?
that was primarily on Wednesday nights. We had what I've been referring to as Diesel Fest. Courtney wanted to
I
have a
love it.
party for all of, initially it was supposed to be for all of our college buddies, our high school buddies. Instead of us driving all over the place trying to hit random bars to see these people, the big plan was to let's draw them all in, have a party at her parents' house in Stowe. We're gonna show up, we'll put some food out, we'll put some booze out, and just sort of, just have a little open house party, which was great. But the only people that were able to come were her friends. So it turned into our friends just being her friends, who I'm friends with as well. But I knew in my mind exactly what I was going to be pouring down everybody's throat that showed up. So I went out and got 2 bottles of Martell and some cranberry, and it was Danimals all night long.
Now,
And the
Wait.
best part about it was a couple of our friends tried them, but my in-laws had friends over. So we're talking anywhere in the range of, I'm going to say 55 to 70-year-old men and women that were
New
hanging
demo.
out there. As soon as they walked in, can I get you something to drink? Can I get you a special holiday cocktail? It's called a Danimal. Well, what is it? It's awesome. That's all you need to know. Let me get
that's
you
a Danimo, motherfucker.
Oh, watch, we don't have a good follow-up answer to that like we do with the Boulevardier when they ask what a Boulevardier is.
I was just gonna say, Placo, can you state for the audience how much the bottle of Martell was just to piss off Chef Kevin?
They were pints though, right?
They were half bottles. They didn't have 750s. So I was getting 375s, and they were, I think, $17 a clip.
What a steal. Would
So
you get two? You get two of
total,
them?
it's a public school kid, but it's right around 34, 35 bucks for what would be a full-size bottle
Story
of,
checks out.
of the very special Martell.
What was the reaction of the older demographic? Did they love him?
Loved them. One woman had 3
It's a
of them.
classic
And
cocktail.
I thought we were gonna have to carry her out the door. She
Fuck
was speaking in tongues and just looking at things that weren't there on her way out the door. But yeah, everybody, they all had at least one, if not 2.
Anybody
Yeah.
calling the dinosaurs at the end of the night?
I thought about it, but no, not that I'm aware of.
You're too strong.
So was the Diesel drinking them? Because we know she's kind of a naysayer on it, but
She finally, once she saw everybody else, I was pouring for everybody else. I believe she finally, I go, can I get you
Fucking
the animal?
FOMO.
And it was fine. I'll drink one. Just
I'll take this
fine,
idiot drink.
whatever.
I'm really interested to see firsthand the Diesel being our longest, oldest fan. What a reaction to the antics of the Trust Me When I Tell You crew. Because like we're at heightened levels of antics these days. And just as I was telling Matt, we're just looking for content at all times. And it's probably a bit extra, as they say. What you say, Kyle?
I can only imagine because last time we were all together in Hawaii, the Diesel had enough of my shit. If you guys remember, especially that last night, like she was not enthused by any of it. And if you remember, there may have been some seltzer spilled. And,
Karate chopped, you mean? Not spilled, karate chopped.
and if I remember correctly, some of them may have end up on her clothing. And so I did apologize to her. And then I said, the good news is it's water. So it'll dry clear. like it's just water.
Made pure.
And so that was my whole thing. Like, sorry, Courtney, but it's water, and she was not enjoying that whatsoever. She's just like stone cold, like not
I've
even
had enough of you.
not even a
idiots.
smirk. Yeah.
To,
And it was
to,
like-
to be fair, I heard that the gals were pretty banged up at dinner too, so they can't be throwing stones at the old
Yeah.
wash bag.
It was fantastic. So yes, I'm looking forward to her response to this weekend. There's no doubt about that.
And
What
I
I'm
get it.
what I'm
Yeah.
looking most forward to is she has listened religiously to every single episode that we have put out there. And God love her, and I appreciate the support because I know I haven't listened to all of them, but
I
she
know.
does.
I'm looking at the demographics. I know. I get it.
But the retention that she has for this stuff is non-existent. I'll bring up something we talked about a couple weeks ago, and she'll look at me like I've got three heads. Like, what are you talking about, moron? I have no idea what that is. Not like Chef Kevin. She's the bizarro Chef Kevin, where he
Yeah.
can write out in punctuation what we've
He
discussed.
he could sub for one of us.
Oh, fuck yeah, you did.
And probably be funnier than me.
Yeah.
Oh shit, all of them.
She
But
is
Courtney,
the
Courtney,
opposite
don't
of
worry,
that.
because all we want is your download. That's all we care about. We're download whores, but we love you anyways.
A review would be nice at some point too.
I mean, yeah, like a 5-star.
That's a fucking bridge too far for our
yeah, give us a
listeners.
5-star rating. And just tell everybody how big of idiots we are, and we will still love you. We'll love you even more. And
Yeah.
that goes for the rest of you listeners. Start rating us.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
You can do it on Spotify now.
They're not going to. It's going to become a big joke. Like the bigger we get, like you guys have the least ratings and reviews in the history of podcasts. Like, yeah, I don't know. They
It's
don't
like
watch your
Malloy,
YouTube
it's like
channel.
Malloy in
Yeah,
Star
we-
Wars.
Yeah,
Nobody's
so
afraid.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Star Wars is their ass.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
call out.
Of
Good
course,
call back,
of
Josh.
course, right? So, all right, buddy. So when you guys were there, Diesel
Well,
Fest sounds fantastic.
in between the family gauntlet for 3 days and Diesel Fest, we took a break, just the five of us. Nobody else
cool.
came with us, just the five of us. We drove up into downtown Cleveland to
Good
go see
call.
one of the few historic landmarks that I've never seen. And all the times I lived in northeastern Ohio,
Rock and
we
Roll
went
Hall
to
of
the-
Fame.
went to the Christmas Story House.
I was gonna ask, like, how is this the first time you've been there? But okay,
It's one of those things where in my mind, I've seen the movie probably 500 times. Why do I need to go see the house?
a great example is
draw
the
you
Home
a
Alone
picture
house
of
for
it.
me. I saw it last year for the first time.
I'm so proud
Now,
of you guys. You want
Can
to
you
know why?
actually go in and see? Can you
No, fuck
tour
no.
the-
Some ass bag lives there.
No, but I thought that now they changed it where like you can come in and they'll set it up and all that shit. Wasn't that the big thing in the news this winter?
I don't remember.
Kyle,
I mean, you
back
could
me
be
up
right.
here.
You could be right.
Come on, Wash, back me up.
As much as I like Home Alone, I don't know. Maybe because if I knew, I would have been there.
But I am going to tell you, I think that you guys can really thank one Kyle Washer for getting you into the Christmas spirit the last 2 years. You fucking two Grinches. Jeez.
And I'd like to take some credit, Placo, for the Christmas Story visit, because I think we talked about doing that via work trip for quite some time. So finally, you pulled the trigger on it.
Did you
So,
watch the movie before you went there, Plaque?
We own the movie. We watch it every year.
Didn't
Actually, I
ask if
think
you
this
owned
might
it. Just
be-
asked if you watched it beforehand.
Jesus Christ.
This actually might be the first year in probably 5 or 6 that we haven't sat down and watched the movie from start to finish. It's
So when you-
obviously on a loop
Oh yeah,
during
Christmas
so we
Day.
caught
Yeah.
some of it, but
But so when
Yeah.
you walk in, were you like, "Oh my god, this is exactly like it is in the movie," or is it kind of like, "Yeah, that movie is like a movie set"?
well, it's interesting because they give you a tour. You have to
Yeah.
schedule a tour to go in, and they talk about the fact that half the movie is actually shot in this house. The other half is shot in an identical soundstage in Vancouver or somewhere up north.
Yeah.
Shout out
And
Chef
it's,
Kevin.
and it's because I think it was 1983, 82 or 83, whenever they made this movie, it was the only year on record that it didn't snow a single flake. In the city of Cleveland.
That's fantastic.
So they had to run with all these used like mashed potato flakes and all this stuff to make the snow fall outside the windows when they were doing scenes inside the house.
The guys on
But-
the roof shaking the.
But it was
So
it
is
was
that-
cool because it wasn't like a museum like the Rock Hall or something else where you just go through and they show you this and show you that and you can't touch anything. They basically just let you run free. Here's some information. You can pick up the Red Ryder BB gun. You can hold the bowling ball. You can take pictures everywhere.
Just one Dan back. He was like, totally against you. You got him
We've
back.
got
Oh yeah,
got
I'm
pictures of
fucking all in.
Briar. Got pictures of Briar hiding under the sink, like Ralphie's brother was.
Yeah.
When,
Awesome.
Dude,
It's-
is
it's
the
really
is the
cool.
lamp that's there? Is that the original lamp?
no, there are.
I can
think
tell
they
you
said-
asked that question, didn't you?
Well, they bring it up right out of the gates. There are, I think, three. There were three original lamps made. One got broken. One is in
They
somebody's
said
house. They know
Fragile in the
where it is.
packaging. How does it get broken? It said Fragile on the fucking box.
The third one, they
Or
don't know
Italian,
where it
sorry.
is. Just disappeared. Same with the BB guns. There were three actual Red Ryder BB guns, and they're lefties, not righties. And they have one on display, which is one of the original ones, I believe. The other one is in one of the directors or the producer's house, and the other one is just gone. They lost track.
Wait,
They
there's
have no idea.
guns you fire from different hands?
Yeah.
So
It's a
I
rifle.
was gonna say the same thing, but I didn't want to come off as like a puss bag guy.
They made it a
Why?
point of saying it is a Ralphie is a lefty, so
You
it is
say.
a lefty gun, and the compass and the stock and all that stuff and the sundial, it's all on the one side, so a lefty can use it.
Hold on a
and-
second. But fuck compass. What are you
Fucking
talking about?
Fucking
This is a
left-handed
have you guys-
compasses, I
gun.
hate those things.
Have you guys never seen this movie? The Red
Can't
Ryder
find
BB
true
gun, the
north on
compass and the stock and the sundial, and it's got all those bells and whistles.
Oh, I
on the
thought you were talking
back
about
end
like
of it.
regular guns, like
Oh, I'm talking about the Red Ryder BB gun.
Well, we're
left-handed gun. It's like, hey, give me a left-handed soccer ball.
Yeah, like a left-handed cigarette. I know what that means. But like Jimi Hendrix played a left-handed guitar. Like I think we all know that one, but
Didn't Kurt
Shooting
Cobain
gun?
play his upside down?
I don't know.
I don't know. No clue.
But Wash, what you know what we need to do since they never did it for a work trip. You and me in the plush bunny pajamas.
Yes, totally.
Great Kyle.
And-
Hang on a minute.
And they have this huge, you have to buy your tickets, of course, in the gift shop across the street. And it is, you can buy full size, they've got leg lamps everywhere. They've got everything that you could possibly think of that you would want from that movie.
Full-size ones?
Full size, desk
left-footed
size.
or right-footed.
That's a fucking power move. You throw that in your front window, a full-size leg lamp.
They're
It's been,
not cheap.
it's been on
either.
my on my list for quite some time. You can buy one online through I think the agency that runs the house, and they're $300.
Yep.
Right.
I
So-
believe it. That's actually probably cheaper than I thought it would have
And they
been.
ship it to you in the wooden crate that says
Fragile,
Fragile.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to
Oh,
ruin the
that's so
surprise,
awesome. That's
and
so.
to ruin
I'm
the
back,
sur-
totally backing on this fucking story.
and to ruin the surprise that of the Christmas gift I didn't get you, Washer, there was none available in 2022 or 2021. So when you brought that up, like when I got Marty the glasses that they had the total fuck up. And by the way, they were called like comical or funny holiday glasses. And Chris is like, "What's so funny about these?" I'm like, "Oh, just wait till you see them in real life. It's comical." But yeah, there was no leg lamp for you. I
So
forget what my fail is for you too, Dan. But now that it's the new year, it's okay to talk about.
The gift shop across the street, is that also a house? Because it's in a neighborhood, right? Or is this
Oh,
like
yeah.
did gentrification
you-
happen and all this other
if
stuff
you
to this neighborhood?
If you didn't know where to look for this house, you would never find it. I mean, it
Really?
is in an alley in the back of this neighborhood. That's, I mean, it still looks like it's 1968 Cleveland. I mean, these houses are falling down around it. It's brutal back in there. It's not in
Build
the
things like they used to.
it's not in the posh up and coming area of Tremont in Ohio City. It's like in the armpits of Ohio
That's awesome.
City. It's great.
Matt, let me ask you this. So was this the day that we had to take our very secret FaceTime conference call?
It is. And, you get there, you have to go buy your tickets in the gift shop. So we walk in and they say, okay, the next available tour is like in an hour. So do you want that? And I decided, let's skip that one. Let's go to the one that's 2 hours from now, go grab lunch somewhere. So we get back to the car after we have our tickets and just punching in where to go. And we find this little Irish place that I'd heard of, but I'd never been to. I don't know why it sounded so familiar. But we drive down and it's down like in the flats, not the new, up and coming
No.
part of the flats. This is the old, East Bank,
Yeah.
sorry,
right.
West Bank
The
of
OG.
the flats where it's it's all scary down there. And as we're pulling in to the spot, I look across the street and there is Larry Flint's Hustler Club and the Diamond Men's Club. So as we're, feeding the meter, I says to Courtney, I says to her, hey, if there's a wait or if we can't get in here, at least we can go see the ballet across the street. And Fletcher right on cue goes, yeah, there's a gentleman's club right there we can go to. So apparently he knew exactly
They got good French
what
soup.
I meant when I said ballet.
Heard you can stretch
the grilled
$40
cheese
there.
Hey, Dad, you and the Timwitty crew know about this stuff, huh?
Dad, I'd love to go to this
No
place
idea.
with you.
So we went and had lunch, took the phone call, and then went back and did the tour. Got out of Dodge after that.
Awesome. Well, I guess we can talk about what this secret phone call is with the big reveal. So,
Ooh, the big news.
the big news. So, we are proud to announce to all of our listeners out there, we teased it last week with Chef Kevin, is that we have now signed a partnership agreement with Ship It Studios podcast network. So, you'll find the Trust Me When I Tell You podcast, along with all the other podcasts that they proudly represent at the Ship It Studios. So big news for us. We're excited for our partnership with these folks. More to come here, but this is, you heard it here, folks. We have joined a network. So we are no longer independent guys with tracks overlaid over one another on an app where we can't see each other. Stepping up to the big time here at the Trust Me When I Tell You podcast. So guys, really exciting.
Tell you what, that's I would say the most exciting thing about it all is bringing the listener / audience a cleaner, more cool product, right? And be more video clips. YouTube will be a little more expansive because, as your old buddy Dan here, the executive editor, if you will, there's just not enough hours in the day to make it full fun and cool for everybody. So this is really, really cool. I'm really excited about it. Word on the street, there may be a sponsor or two. We'll see. Maybe more big news coming. I don't know. # tune in. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. And I know you guys are too. So it's # awesome AF.
The crew has
It's like having a whole new box of toys that we can figure out how to screw up. So
Yes.
This is going to be fun.
if it's anything like anybody else that we interact with, they're gonna get real sick of our shit real quick.
Yeah,
So.
these guys are fucking relentless.
This,
You guys-
this just adds to the dynamic too, that our joke is constantly that how does anyone outside of the four of us listen to this podcast? And now the fact that we are joining a network that people actually want us to be included and want to help us improve and all that stuff. It's like, joke's on you guys, but yeah, we're in.
Yeah, Wash, dude, Wash, you hit it right in the head, man. Like when we started this thing, it was like, oh man, if we got 5 listeners, that'd be like a victory. And if we're gonna be honest, we didn't shop for this thing. Just saying.
Yeah. Scouter report said, trust me, I tell you, some
yeah,
funny
yeah.
ass dudes, right? So
Ugly, but fucking funny.
yeah. Oh my god.
Shout
Yeah,
out to our
Courtney.
listeners, right? There's no doubt about that. I mean, Hoff, I know you always
Best in
bring
the
it up
business.
but truly, I mean, there's some there's some really cool people that engage us and enjoy the idiocracy that we have. That's Tim Whitty.
God
We'll
bless
talk
him.
more about it in the final 4 because I got a nice little spin on that. But no doubt, it's an interesting group. No two alike. There's no doubt about that. But good group of listeners.
Hey, and they have no idea what they're about to awaken from the Trust Me When I Tell You crew by feeding us any bit of attention. It's like getting water on the gremlins at night or whatever.
Of mice and men, Lenny and the fucking rabbits.
Yeah,
I
it's
loved
fine.
it. I loved it because I looked at the network and I'm like, how many of these couldn't?
Are
I
you
try
sure
to
we
be a
fit
part
in
of?
with these guys?
I think I can try to convince them to be on every single one of these shows. Can we make a bingo card out of this?
I think the term is careful what you wish for because
Yeah.
it's
I-
coming.
Or as a # remember, you wanted this.
You've been #improv.
You've been improv. There we go.
So
Put that on a
Zach,
shirt.
Bull, Zach, and the team, we appreciate it, but good luck to you guys in dealing with us. Holy cow! But I really want to give one last roll call before we move back onto it to our man Doxy. Could have done without you, guy. We're here for you, Cleveland's finest. So Matt,
Docs.
back to the show. All right, take us back to Cleveland. So after lunch, after our conference call, what then?
That's when we went. That's when we went back to the house, and I will post some of the pictures we took at the kids at the house, and me with the bowling ball dropping in my crotch on the Tim Whitty Twitter feed and on the Instagram. But that was pretty much it. Really, after that, only really, I guess, super mentionable that I was pretty proud of. The next day, we went down to Canton to get the kids. My son had
You can tell by the smile on his fucking face.
Every now and then things work out the way
Yeah.
that I don't really think they're going to, but they do. And there's very little pushback from the Diesel, who is generally a very, very good sport about all of my shenanigans. Every now and then it's a hard no, but I can't believe this flew at all. This is after the Diesel Fest. Fletcher was spending the night with a couple of buddies down in Canton. Briar was with her aunts down in Canton. So Harlow and Courtney and I went down, gathered them all up so we could go and see the old house, drive by, just sort of see what the Hall of Fame looked like, just do a little bit of sightseeing. And then we grabbed lunch at a spot over near Belden Village Mall called Jersey's. And it just so happened that I was texting a buddy of ours, of all of ours, Mr. C. Day, and said, "Hey, I'm at Jersey's. The next stop after this is Courtney and the kids and their cousins and her sister are going roller skating at this little laser tag roller skate place. I have zero desire to go and do this. Why don't you see if you could find your way over here so that way I can use you as my excuse to, hey, I'm going to catch up with Chad and talk about some work and such, and you guys can come back and pick me up." And she totally went for it. So I sat at the bar for about 3 hours with our guy C Day, just pounding Miller Lights and
Big
having
box of Miller
a
Lite
very-
Gonzo.
Now we're gonna find out if
Very
he listens
good
to this
time.
episode or not.
Yeah, see if
It's
he
easy to
mentions
call out.
anything.
Yeah. Now is this roller rink? Is this where the Cleveland Guardians roll?
I don't think
Nice
so.
throwback.
That's fairly south. They may have a farm team down there, maybe.
The
Maybe the
Guardians.
Canton Gardeners or something. Yeah.
It's a Bush League team for
Gardeners.
The
Canton
Cleveland
Gardeners.
Mounties.
Awesome. Oh, awesome. Dude, we have like 4 episode titles to pick from you. Just
I've been writing shit down.
boom, boom, boom. I'm out of ink. Nice to
Cheers,
have
Beck.
options, buddy. Nice to have options. But yeah,
But the only
CCA
thing better than her actually signing off on this and being a good sport and taking the kids and then coming back and picking me up, we went and got the kids settled into her parents' house, and then we went to the big check mark that I had on my list.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
get back to our old stopping grounds in Kent State University. Go Flashes. We met some people out there, hit a couple of our favorite watering holes, topped off with Ray's Place. To any prospective sponsors, if you want to land us that, I'll talk Ray's Place all day and ad nauseum. But we
Me too.
ate there. It was going to be a great field trip for the Tim Whitty crew to go and experience Ray's. I know Hoffman's been there, but you guys will get a kick out of this joint.
So can we call that day or that evening like Diesel Fest 2.0? Was she like loving it just as much as you were? Like just no kids, her and her beau out and about in the late night, the nightlife, just throwing back beers.
Ish, I mean, kinda. It wasn't a super
This was
exciting
a
evening.
night for you. This was a night for you.
This
with your-
was
with
a
your
night
lady.
we went out. It was, my cousin and her husband met us out, and my brother-in-law and his wife met us out, and another friend of the family. So it was just kind of a low-key adult drinking night. So we didn't get real loose. I think we were home before
It's
midnight.
like being at an animal club.
Yeah, exactly.
and
Except
awesome.
we didn't have the lottery or anything like that to play with.
Or a guy puking outside the window.
That video is fantastic.
When he showed me that, I'm like, I've got to send these to these guys. And they're fucking animal clubs. And I love how the guys, I don't know how we're set up on your guys' screen, but Washer and Hoffman are on diagonals. And those 2 diagonals, I cannot believe how anti-animal club you guys are. I mean, it is. I'm not saying it's the best bar in the world because it's not. It's total shitbox, but I love a good shitbox. And it's probably because you guys are married and I'm a single guy. And I'm like, if I had a girlfriend or something like that, I would never, ever take a female.
On the contrary, honestly, a fucking washed up dad like me, if I want to have a couple of cheap beers at a shithole bar, what have you, who cares, right? But somebody like you that's actually hunting out some trim and has
So
a
I'm
chance
not
to
even. That's
enjoy
so.
himself,
That's
the
the
fuck
big.
don't you go to a bar where there is a woman, right?
That's the misconception. That's the misconception about your old friend Nails, which I conveniently. I don't know if you saw. I switched my name on the old Zoom. I'm no longer Kristen Hoffman. No,
Well,
but when I go,
Ship It Studios, we really appreciate you guys. Sorry, it's gonna have to end before it stops because if we have any more fucking hot fucking animal club talk, this fucking podcaster is out.
Well, and I had this discussion with one Christopher Hoffman this afternoon. We were talking about the animal clubs, and at some point, God willing, when the four of us are together, we will find a military bar, an animal club, something, and we will drag the two of you kicking and screaming in. You'll hate it for the first 30 seconds. Inside of 10 to 15 minutes, you will think it is the best place.
it's no
ever.
different than any other dive bar.
It's
like,
10
so
times
Sa-
better. It's 10 times
Saturday,
better than any other
Saturday.
dive bar.
Let me tell you this: last Saturday when Dolan came out, free jukebox, free fucking jukebox.
I love that the jukebox is your fucking selling angle.
Well,
It
yeah,
sounds like you guys
because
are
I
trying to
love-
convince yourselves, not
No,
me.
it's
I
not just that though,
love-
Chris. Not just that. Free fucking ice with a purchase of an animal too. An animal. Free ice.
Nuh-uh.
We heat up.
Well,
The ice
no,
cube.
so like
That's all
at
the world.
these, you got to heat up the ice. No, at the animal clubs, anytime I go there, like if I know somebody, like for instance, so like when I went there on Saturday, I was by myself. My buddy Nate was bartending, and Dolan was supposed to meet me up there, right? So I go in there and get a Jameson of water. And I get halfway through it, and Dolan texts me, "Change of plans. We're going bowling with the grandkids." I'm like, and I text him back, I go, "You motherfucker!" I go, "There's nobody here except like 3 degenerates on this side of the bar, and then on the other side of the bar there was 3 more, right?" So I told Nate, I'm like, "He's not coming." He's like, "Well, eat a pizza, right?" So this guy Pete, who manages another social club, comes in. I'm like, "Well, I'll hang out with Pete," right? So I go to order a drink, and I go, "Nate, give me another J-Mo water." From across the bar, Pete goes, "I got it. I got that one, the next one." You know, I'm like, now I got to buy this guy a fucking beer. You know, he's like, "Don't you dare buy me a beer." Everybody buys you drinks at these places. It's like a contest. Now, granted, it's not like people are thinking they're like big
And it
swinging
all
dicks.
snaps into
They-
focus.
They just want everybody to have that little fucking drink chip in front of their
Yep.
fucking in their bar, you know?
Because they don't want anybody to leave. Because if
No,
anybody leaves,
exactly,
then
yes.
they'll be alone. So it's the type of thing where beers are, you're getting $1.50 PBR tall boys. Here's $20.
$1.50
Send a chip
Jameson
around.
and waters.
Send a chip around to everybody and give me a beer. And just chips are flying back and forth. They always have like the bowling, like the slide bowling machines or shuffleboard or
Yeah.
some
So
sort of bar games. It's great.
an hour after this little incident that I told you about where Pete was buying me drinks, this old guy walks in. So there's like, I would call it a foyer, right? So you walk in the door and there's a room, and then you got to use your key card to get in because it's a fucking social club, right? Like I had to ring the doorbell, and I'm like the unwashed in this place. But so everybody's like, all 6 guys like, "Yeah, there's fucking Larry. Can't even fucking get in the goddamn door." You know, I'm like, I cannot wait to meet this fucking guy. Hopefully he sits by me. He's an old guy and he can't fucking figure out. Nate is refusing to ring the doorbell to open the fucking door for him, you know? And they're like, "Yeah, he got kicked out last night too." I'm like, "I was here last night. I didn't see this fucking guy." But it was steak dinner night, so everybody was there. But so that's why I didn't recognize him. So he finally like manages his way in. He's walking down and he trips on the bar and he falls over, you know? And Nate's like, "Hey, what can I get you some drink, like a water?" And this guy, Walter, whatever his name is, he looks at Nate and goes, "Water?" Like he was speaking Russian, right? He's like, "You don't need any beer." He's like, "I'll take a beer." He's like, "You can't get a beer." And he just turns around and fucking leaves. Everybody's like, "I fucking hate that guy." I go, "He's 80 years old. How do you hate this fucking guy?" You know? Yeah, it's the beauty of the animal club. The beauty of the animal club.
There is endless.
Look, somebody wake up
endless
Hoffman. Somebody
stories.
wake up Hoffman.
I feel like we're both getting iced out the longer we talk
Mhm.
about the animal clubs, which makes me just want to keep going.
Shocking. I cannot wait till you guys force Phoebe fucking blue moons at an animal club. I cannot wait.
Yeah, joke's on you. They don't serve Blue Moon at a fucking
Yeah,
animal
I don't
club.
know what fancy animal club you're going to with Blue Moon, but whatever.
When I ordered a Danimal, he's like, I don't even know if I have fucking cognac in this fucking bar. Are you kidding me?
Did you ask for brandy?
No, they had Hennessy.
Mm.
And then we did a shot of Malort's, which you guys saw that video.
Love Malort's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
shout
do,
it
you
out.
fuckface. With all due respect, obviously. With all due respect. All right, Hoff, what's next, baby?
That was just the sound. That was the sound right there of all our fucking listeners tuning out. So I'm finding another podcast. These
Hey,
guys
I-
turned 800 on this podcast today.
I did my job reining in some 60-year-old plus Danimal drinkers
Yeah.
at the Diesel
And
Fest.
Hoff,
So-
Hoff just hates our veterans. He just hates the veterans. That's-
Oh, whoa.
yeah.
whoa.
Hey, you hate animal clubs. You fucking hate veterans.
the math works.
I'm telling you, you go to an animal club and the fucking stories from these guys, they're unreal. They are literally us. Flash forward 40 years from now.
Now,
Maybe
I,
50.
I will I will put the caveat out. From my experience, the animal clubs are 10 times better during the day than at night because it's a whole different breed of citizen that's hanging out in these places from 10 a.m. when they open till 2 when they stumble out the door to head home. It is bananas.
I met a girl.
The
I
class
met a girl at
citizen
an
you
animal
get.
club one time.
Oh yeah,
Moving in.
I don't think they believe you.
Yeah,
All
no.
right. So let's get off this real quick. A little this or that to give Chef Kevin some love in this episode as we bring things back. Moose Lodge or Elk Lodge?
Funny,
Moose.
I've never.
Nobody
I don't-
cares.
No,
Moving
I've
on.
been to him. I've been to a moose. I've been to a moose. So, like, out by me, there are like a zillion clubs. I don't belong to any of them, but there's a moose, a VFW, an Elks, Third Ward, obviously, and vets that you guys know about. There's a Phoenix Club. There's St. George's. I'm like, huh? And like my neighbor, you know, my neighbor is across the street, belongs to all of them. I'm like, you don't even go to these places.
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah. He's like, well, it's only $50. I'm like, well, I'll just go with you and you walk in with you. It's like, why would I buy a fucking membership to these places when I can just go? That's the beauty of the animal club. You got to know a guy. And knowing my luck, that's the guy I know who is the animal club guy.
I don't know. There's just a lot of things I don't know about. Left-handed BB guns. I don't know about animal clubs and
January 8th, we'll be animal clubbing.
January 8th.
And by January, I mean July.
What did I miss?
You didn't miss anything. I'm the one missing all the things. Shout out my chair.
Yes, indeed. But so Dan, one thing
Yes.
I did get in the mail today that I know you wanted to talk. I knew
Oh
you
my
and Matt.
God.
I knew you and Matt were going to fucking trample me with Animal Club talk. I knew it was going to happen.
I feel like it came up organically though.
Oh, me too. Totally. Watch instead of me side text on how to shut you guys down.
Shut these fucks up.
We're just letting it flow. But so I got something in the mail today that I would have bet dollars to donuts. And a lot of weird shit's been happening to me lately. Like things we talk about and is in this zeitgeist,
yeah.
and trust me when I tell you, is like then happening in real life. So Dan tells me about a story. And he's like, dude, I got to talk about this. And this is like I think it's a pretty good topic. I mean, it's no animal club. So viewers, if you need to go to the bathroom, take a
You're about to
break.
be bored. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get in the mail today something, and it's one of those stamped for the Christmas time. It has the Hoffman family on that. And I'm just like, what are the chances? It is January 11th. And what Dan wants to talk about, I got in the mail today. So I put it on the counter, didn't open it up. Kristen opens it, and it wasn't what we thought. But it segued into a topic, Dan, I know that you have a little bit of strong feelings about. Maybe
What?
stick in your crawl type feelings.
Fucking Christmas cards. Is that what it is?
It wasn't a Christmas card, but it looked like
Dude,
a
you thought it was a
January
Christmas
11th
card.
Christmas
I
card.
got
thought it
guys, I gotta
was.
tell you, I get a fucking zillion Christmas cards. And I don't know a zillion people. If I told you, like, if somebody said, hey, how many people do you think know your address? I'd be like, I don't know, fucking 6. I probably get 75 Christmas cards. And when they all come, I'm always thinking, like, how the fuck do you have my address? I haven't talked to you in like 10 fucking years. I have buddies' parents sending me Christmas cards. And I was telling Hoffman the other day, I think that was today actually, right? I'm like, guys, save the money because it's not going on my refrigerator. I'm not putting it in a fucking doorway. I'm a single dad with a dude for a little kid. We don't decorate like that, right? So I'm like, all right, who is this from? Let me see what the because a lot of people don't put their fucking names on the stuff either, right? So I look at where the post office stamp is from. I'm like,
Yeah, love it. Do the math.
oh boy, I know who this is from. And then I'll open it up. I'm like, man, you guys spent money on this to send it to me. Like, it's not that I don't appreciate it because I don't, but I don't.
Awesome.
You know,
I do love the movie because you had me going on it of the no return address move now because like nope, you're stuck with this now.
Yeah,
We got
exactly. I just don't get it. I don't get like, hey, we're gonna go, and maybe it's because I choose to not turn my air conditioner on until June 15th when you guys leave. But I just don't understand. Like, hey, let's go take pictures and send it to fucking. Here's my thing. If I'm getting it, who the fuck else is getting it? Because there has to be a fucking million people. Because I don't talk to anybody. And like, why you're sending it to me and Duke? And like, Duke has no idea who these people are, right?
None of them.
And
Right?
I can appreciate the fact, like, you love fucking Christmas. So good. Let's go send some holiday cheer out there. But I'm like, I don't even get the mail every day. And then I come back, it's like, here's 30 fucking Christmas cards and a fucking water bill. Like, I don't want to open all this fucking mail and then just see like, hey, look how good my fucking kids are behaved. And then you're not even in it. It's your fucking dogs. Like, those are the ones I really don't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Because there's people who just put the fucking dogs in the fucking pictures. So yeah, that really, really fucking sticks in my craw. But the thing is, like, what I really don't get is like, how did you get my address? Because everybody knows the street I live in, but I don't give the house number out. Like, how did you get my address? And I can't wait.
It's pretty easy, really.
Yeah, that's the fucking thing that pisses me off. Yeah, it's called Google.
Rory Markham. He gives your address out.
Oh my God, how about that fucking thing? Jesus Christ. I had anxiety all night when that fucking Facebook post went out.
What happened?
No, I told you so. Rory Markham's girlfriend / my ex-girlfriend from back in high school, when she tagged me in that thing, I'm like, she had to be tagging a different Dan. And it was because I'm like, I'm guys, I'm not in Crestwood. He probably fucking showed up. I guarantee he showed up to that bar wanting to fucking break my fucking legs. Unless he got another phone call.
Yeah, right. What I do love about all things, like if he ever, well, put a pin in that. Wash. Wash. So we used to, like when our kids were your age, nothing brought me more joy than the Christmas card and putting it together, because I love like a good task that keeps my wife busy for a good month. And that's definitely one of them in the Hoffenhaus.
Oh my God.
But then you get the bill for this thing. Dan, to your point, do you know how much that costs? That's
my fucking point.
It's
because
like
I've had
$300 of
I've had
cards.
Me and Duke and Duke's mom and Duke's brother got pictures taken. And granted, like, I'll give the families credit. The pictures are great pictures, but I have no use for them.
It's pretty braggadocious, right?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. Some people might call it a power move. Like, what is money I've got? I can take fucking pictures.
Oh,
like,
you know, it's a great power move.
Put them on fucking Facebook. I'll fucking look at them on Facebook.
Blacko, I want to know your take on this. When they give you not only the card, but the letter of like all their accomplishments of the year. Little Ian is 7. He's first in his class. He's fluent in
Hoffman Herald.
I got an aunt that does that, and it's like a recap of the entire year. And I'm like,
it's so great.
I'm not gonna say her name. Oh, she don't fucking listen to this podcast. But I'm like, oh my God, you can't expect us to fucking read this whole sheet of paper.
Dude, how are you not reading this just so you can have conversations about this with your family about how interested you are? And then they're going to be so blown away. You're like, not one bit interested at all. Little
That's
Ian
awesome.
speaking French.
Yeah. So step back to the picture card though, right? Laura sold me on the
Do you call it a picture card?
because- Yeah, I mean that's not what it is. It's a fucking
I have no
card.
idea what it's
Pictures
called.
on it.
100%.
I call it a
It's like
Christmas
bag
card.
chair. That's exactly
It's
what
like-
That's
I
a
was just
picture
gonna say a
card.
bag
That's a picture
chair.
card.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in. I'm just making
So-
sure we're on the same page.
So I was
Fucking
sold
picture
on it
card.
because we were talking about doing them, and this was a while ago. This year we did not do Christmas cards whatsoever. So Mala, you're lucky. Next year, you bet your ass you're getting a.
You're getting
few from my
fucking 10.
family. Yeah,
You're
there,
doing a
there might be a
Tim Whitty
fucking
Christmas
Harry
card
Potter
next
novel
year.
about
God damn
us.
it.
So that I'd be in on a Tim Whitty Christmas card. I'm all in on that.
Wash will be able to sway you on anything Christmas. I know it.
Yeah, wait. But so I was sold on the picture card because then you don't have to write anything, right? Like an old school card, you always have to write something in it. So if
Appreciate
it's
that
a card
for
that has
sure.
like the scrolled season greetings, blah, 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 like somebody has to write something in there. So I was sold on, like let's create a spreadsheet, print off a bunch of labels, send these bad boys out and be done. So it doesn't take us 6 fucking days to do it. I say us like I do any other writing. But anyway, so I was sold on it. The one year I think we did a couple years, but the one year we did it, sorry, Nails, you didn't make the cut. We only sent out 360 of them.
Dave, I don't know why you're apologizing. Thank you.
We got your
But,
sister.
I
we
see
got-
daily
we got-
posts about your
yeah,
children every single day, and I'm grateful for that. See, that I'm grateful for. That I'm grateful for. But I'm like, don't waste your
So-
money on my scumbag ass. Go on.
So Laura, I mean, she went to the next degree. We had the fucking picture card, and on the back, she still wrote to every single person
I
something.
love your wife. I love her.
And I'm like,
So
the whole
fun.
idea of this picture card was so you don't have to write anything. No, we gotta do it. We need to. We need to write something.
So if I ended
I
up
think-
doing, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
I
off.
think part of it is like her upbringing because her folks and her entire family, when you get a birthday card, like the one side is mom's writing and the one side is dad's writing, and they say really nice things about everybody and all that, which is great. When it's your birthday, to get a couple nice kind words from your family is awesome, right?
Can't wait
when-
for
when
it
I
to
get
be
cards
you
from-
together.
Yeah, exactly. When I get cards from my parents, it says love mom and dad. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
In your
Like,
mom's handwriting,
if
right?
Hallmark
Yeah.
Hallmark didn't touch you, mom and dad sure as hell aren't. You know what I mean? Like, but there was a
Felt awfully religious.
but there was a fall picture on the front of it with leaves that were falling and a cactus. Oh, great. Like nothing more intimate than a
It's pretty heartfelt.
photo
Yeah.
stock.
A fucking
Stock-
plant
stock
that
photo.
hurts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's a stock photo. Season's greetings. Love mom and dad. Oh, that was good, right? Yeah.
I love you guys.
Matt, when's the last time you guys did a Christmas card? Oh, you know what you did when you guys last year when you moved because you did the new address and all that.
We did them last year. We didn't do them this year. It just sort of got away from us with travel and everything else. But
And
we
COVID too.
we do it as cheaply as we possibly can and just take our own pictures. You just go through our phones or we've taken throughout the year that has the kids not just mean
That's
mugging
like-
the camera.
Taped
My
to loose
fucking
leaf.
move right there. Yeah.
We'll throw it on the I think Walgreens she usually has some like photo editor where you can build your own card and just upload your pictures to
One-hour
it.
photo.
No free ads.
Yeah, right.
Cranks them out, but we used to do I think upwards of 200
Oh, for sure, right?
225 of them.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Are you
Buddy,
fucking
like-
kidding me?
Like Kyle's not kidding,
200?
like 360. Like, dude, I'm
That
telling
is
you, you
in-
get up
Yeah.
and you're sending them
Can
to
you-
people you don't even talk to, right? And it's vice
I know.
versa. Like,
I get them. I'm the
Yeah.
one who gets
Matt,
them. that I don't
right?
talk
Like
to.
you have a
And
Christmas
it's-
card list, and it's like this is the only correspondence for me for the next 10 years.
So
We have
I
four-
sent out. Go ahead. You got 4.
No, just Courtney has a folder with 4
Folder.
double-sided folder sheets of paper that have addresses. It's a spreadsheet where she can just hit print, put the labels in there, slap them on if need be. But
No-
every
no
year we
return
have to go
label.
through. Who are we Xing off? Who do we need to add on?
Ooh, I like
How many
that.
are we
Make-
ads?
make the
Can
cut.
we
with Oaks and Napa.
can we trim the fat a little bit? But even if we trim it,
the
you
fat
still it's
300.
it's it's an hour and a half of stuffing these stupid envelopes and then licking them closed. And then you got to go buy stamps for all that stuff.
Who
Slap
knows how much
them
a
on
stamp
there.
costs these days? That's probably
God,
fucking
dude.
$80.
God, right now,
There's no way
it'd
of
be
knowing.
great. Hey, when I'm using the timer right now, hopefully that can be a good segue for future
Nails.
segments coming, right?
Yeah.
Stamps are like 50 cents a piece, right? So $80 is an understatement, brother. If he's doing 200 of them,
Yeah,
you know,
buddy,
you're talking about three figures.
right? I mean, dude, I'm telling you, this is a
$100. Yeah,
buddy,
that's
it's a $500 ordeal when it's all
Yeah.
said and done. I didn't even
okay.
think about the
So
fucking
I feel
stamps.
like you guys are starting to kind of get on my side of this. Like, really,
Oh, no,
nobody
if-
gives a fuck about.
It's not
this
about
stuff.
getting on your side. You're missing one part that the dynamic is different from you, and that is you have a choice whether to do it or not. The
Amen.
three of us do not.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know,
So can
Trust
you
me.
imagine- so
every
you-
I have a
single one
choice
of
now.
Washer, you're bringing it back to exactly where I was about to bring it back. Where if you guys got a fucking Christmas card from me, or like, I don't know, Chris Potz's mom and dad got one, they'd be like, "Oh, Dan's dating somebody."
Yes.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good for him.
He's got a female in his life.
Yeah, right?
Well, the
He's
fact
not in the
that
picture,
all-
but we got a Christmas card from him.
the fact
what
that we were
the
able to
fuck?
get
There's
through
a milk bath on this.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Those fucking donut deliveries are finally paying off.
There's no address, but it looks like
Yeah.
a postmark next to the dairy
Aw.
farm.
How cute. They floated cranberries in the
Or
milk.
my ass be like, "No, we're hand delivering these. I'm not paying for this fucking postage."
Gonna take gas costs these days,
Yeah.
Brandon. Let's go. We're mailing this shit. All right, so you hear that stamps.com better be the fucking sponsor.
Yeah, they were our one of our first fake sponsors.
Yeah, right. Oh, but so my timing was only off by 3 minutes the first time and 8 minutes this time around for a good segue. So I feel like insert live ad read. So this is gonna be great. I can't wait until we're doing this. It's gonna be fun. But on that note, Dan, what time is it?
It's time for the final four.
This week's final four is, I don't have it written down. Dan, pick me up here.
Your dream guests to bring on the podcast.
Phenomenal.
Bum, bum, no, no.
Who here wants to lead off? Because I had this list actually done a long time ago.
So I personally would like Matt to go because I feel like he's no, I want him to go
You want Matt
last.
to go last? Yeah,
Right, but
Matt's
okay,
gonna break
so
the fucking house
If
down.
Matt,
He's
if
a
Matt goes,
painted
if Matt
fucking
goes,
costume.
if Matt goes last, he has to have his hands up, not right, because I guarantee you right now his list is fucking gold. It's absolute gold. So I'll go
go
first. All right, you go. Come on, go.
You go last.
love-
Why don't you go first?
Hey, if baby wants, baby gets.
Kyle, go ahead.
Baby wants what baby gets. Unless it's fucking Dino Nuggets, and it ain't happening. But
All right,
no
Huff, you're
problem.
up.
All right. So my four bubble teams. It was
My elite eight. My
Yeah.
elite eight.
It's been a rough tournament. So the bubble teams all are guests that I feel like we can land, right? So
Oh yeah.
as Matt was asking questions, my first bubble team, Jimmy Friedel. Second bubble team, Jim Dad.
Yeah, Daddy Source Flex, you mean?
Daddy Source Flex. You
Yeah,
got
okay.
it. My
See
third
if he's
one,
listening.
Chef Dave Hubbard,
Hopefully he's shoveling my snow.
right? Yeah, deep.
He better not be hunching over. He'd be fucking screaming.
And last but not least on my bubble teams, I'm gonna go deep and old school. Eric Hellwig. Remember him?
Bring up the backups.
Yeah.
Bring in the
Bring in the
backups.
backups.
Yeah.
Our first friend of the program. Yeah. So those are my bubble teams. All right, getting down to it. The final four. The bubbles. I feel like we got these guys.
I got a
at
feeling
some
that you
point.
and I may match up a little bit.
We'll see. Number 4, Beef Loaf from the one.
So I was gonna put him on. I was gonna put him on just to piss you guys off, but I left him on.
we're
See, and the
getting
thing,
there.
Washer's like giving the fucking cut it. Washer, you would love him.
Well, we'll
you
see.
would
I think they
absolutely-
hate
If
me.
he
That's
talks
why I
about-
said no.
No,
I just
Mrs.
think they hate
Beefloaf.
me.
Mrs. Beefloaf hates you. With a name like that.
Dude, we're getting them back. We're getting them back. All right, number 3. would be phenomenal. And God, I've been missing this guy, and I got back on him, and Dan knows. Adam Ray would be fucking
Yes.
killer to
Oh,
have on
yes.
here. Number 2, James Walker Mobile.
Dude, I feel like, can you imagine how awkward that interview / interaction would be? Like, this guy, so cool, so rich, and like we're just like throwing dumb questions at him, and him thinking like, what the fuck am I doing on this fucking podcast right now?
Well, like we
You know
said,
what I
they
mean?
have to,
But
be
then
a really
that's-
controlled segment.
But that's where we bring in Washer and Matt to bring him
I
back
think
in,
he'd
like talk
fucking
about
love it, though.
sophisticated
Like,
stuff.
As soon as Hoffman hit him with a Delta Club thing and he jumped right on there, I'm like, you got a chance to land this guy. That was my
Yeah.
first thought.
So like when he first
he's
kind of
in.
came into our world, which is funny, I say our world, I'm like, man, this guy's like a fucking big fucking deal. Quasi interacting with us. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Right. But yeah, I'm with you. He'd be
he
a good
quasi
one.
interacts with the entire internet, though. So
Yeah.
roll call James Walker Mobile.
Yeah.
And my
He's
number-
like us. You talk to us. We'll talk
before
back.
we get off that though, I think there's a chance we might be able to land a sponsorship off James Walker Mobile too, right? Because
Ooh, yeah.
last time I checked,
Yeah.
his new bike delivery service is it called? Did they pronounce it bike? BUYK, right? It's like a
Oh,
Uber
Book?
Eats on steroids, straight off a bike, if you will.
right?
It's a
Bike
weekend.
delivery.
But if I spend enough time reading James Walker Mobile Twitter feed, it looks like they just landed Chicago as the next
They
location.
did. Yep, for sure.
So we happen to have a
Put me to
pretty good
work.
following in the Chicagoland area. So James Walker Mobile, if you're listening, we got a chance. This is a grassroots opportunity. 12 months from now, the cost will be exponentially higher.
We'll just say get in
Get in.
on the ground floor. Get in. on the
Literally
ground
right
floor.
now, all it's going to cost you is a couple deliveries of Martell and cranberries anytime we're in Chicago.
And we'll drink it
It's-
with you.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And it's not
All
even
of them.
Canadian dollars. These are American dollars. So
Hey, we're cutting you a fucking discount, guy. All right,
All
Hoff,
and-
we're back
and
to
num-
it.
Yeah, and last but not least, my number 1 seed, because I think you guys would love this more than anything, is if we had John Resig from the Chive on here, because I think you guys would love rehashing that. My awkward story would be.
Oh
just
my God.
phenomenal. So-
Especially me, because like when we were telling the story, I forgot to bring up a couple of like really funny fucking parts of this interaction. And, like we signed off, I was talking to Hoff like the next day. I'm like, I forgot to fucking say this. He's like, how did you forget that? I go, I don't know. But yeah, that would be a good one. That would be really
All right, that's my long list of guests, and I see Marty doing some work over there. So
good. Yeah, look at that fucking shit eating grin.
I'm just trying not to offend any potential guests because I don't know anybody you just mentioned because I don't know any of those people. I know Jimmy. I recognize a couple of the names, but I don't know what any of those people do or why they follow us or why
James
we
Walker,
follow them.
he doesn't show up in my feed.
Dude, you're the best. We got to save you for last. Wash, come on, baby.
Let me take
Let's
this over
hear
because,
your list.
It's my first time saying I don't think I understood the assignment.
All right, good.
So
I love when this happens,
I
but you
took
don't
this in a-
understand it because I feel like
Best
anytime
Final
anybody
Fours.
doesn't understand it,
I
they
took
fucking
this in
nail
a
it.
very different direction because I'm pretty sure as we were describing the assignment, somebody used the term celebrity. And as much as I love Jimmy Friedel, I don't know that I'd call him a celebrity. Just
He is
saying.
to us.
Maybe
He is to
maybe
us.
a local legend or something like that.
Ooh, shout out local
Celebrity?
legend. There we go.
I don't
There's so
know.
many
But
t-shirts
anyway.
we could make out of these fucking
I
little
love that
things.
nickname
Yeah.
too.
So I went a little bit different. In traditional fashion of the Final Four in my world, there is a bubble team, but just one this time. I almost went with 0, but I had to go with this.
I think I know.
took all yours.
I know what one of yours is. I think I know what one of yours is.
Of course.
My bubble team is I think we need to in this fiscal year get a some type of charity involved and get somebody from the charity on board, right? Because this goes back to what I said earlier.
Wash
Our
is so
listeners
deep,
are
brother.
awesome.
So
There's
deep.
so many guys that just buy into it and drink. Why the hell is anybody buying Tim Whitty merch? Like listening's bad enough. Now they're paying to wear our brand. Like this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like
Listening's
I
bad
love it.
enough.
Like I'm just saying, like I give you guys all the credit in the world. I love you. So here's my point. No joke. If we found a charity we wanted to buy in on, the four of us, and we thought it was cool, we got somebody to chew the fat with and talk about something that really meant something. I truly believe our listeners would move the needle for them, and I think that's pretty cool. So
All
that's
right, real quick, mini top two. What two charities?
That's a good
What's
question.
What's near and dear to your heart?
I don't really want to go there, honestly.
Okay.
But you know,
Then move on. Move on.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yep,
Move on.
got it.
all right. So into my final four. Number 4, I don't think anybody will be surprised in this. Elon Musk. I'd love to have Elon on because I just think it would be really interesting. I think the guy would respond to us in a pretty unique way, right? Because
I've already got my first question for him too.
the guy's,
No.
you know,
My first question: why are you so effing weird?
No,
That's all.
no. Like, what did you think when that steel ball you threw at that truck smashed the window? What was going through your fucking mind?
I
that
love
happened.
that.
Yeah,
That's
that's my
awesome.
favorite thing.
Wash. did I
My
tell you
question
what-
was, did you get the idea of including a number in your kid's name from a friend of ours?
That would have been my follow-up question. Yes.
100%.
What's with all the symbols?
And
Wash,
Elon-
wash. Did I tell you when, Dan started this out with what's a Corvette? That's a Corvette or whatever. What's that?
That's a Corvette, motherfucker.
Dude, when I got home shit-faced from Austin, did I tell you guys that I had this elaborate plan and I was convincing my son that Dan and I met Elon Musk and that I was going to get Dan to text me his number and I was going to call and have him talk to him as Elon Musk?
I forgot about that.
so one year, Laura and I rented a VRBO and it had a Tesla charging station in the garage. And so we'll have to tell the rest of the story some other time because we can't get too deep into this. But me and one of my buddies that him and his wife ended up joining us, we started calling it Elon's place, right? Because it had a Tesla charging station. We're like, this guy, it was a nice house, random Tesla charging station. This was when there were probably 10 Teslas in the entire country. So like to see this charging station up close and personal was like, whoa, this thing's pretty cool. So we called it Elon's place. So it's pretty funny.
Especially in Michigan, man. It's like spitting in their face, right?
This is Lower Peninsula. Yeah.
Number 3, Seth Rogen. I just think that personality would meld really well with us. The guy,
Yeah, I think
seems to
he's
have
equally as dumb
stories
as
for
us,
days.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he owns up to the idiocracy too. Like, just the guy's a pioneer in his own way. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. how
Jump
I
on the
feel
trail,
about
brother.
Seth Rogen. I don't know how I feel. Matt, what do you think about Seth Rogen?
you should love him, dude. He's part of the tribe, also.
I know, but I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know.
Can
So
I tell
I
you
always
that-
say
can I tell
between
you that
Seth
you
Rogen
being-
and Jonah Hill, I always choose Jonah Hill. I feel like.
I think Seth Rogen would be a better hang than Jonah Hill, but I bet once
I can't argue
Jonah
with
Hill
that.
got out of his head and got comfortable with you, I bet he is hysterical. And Hoffman, can I tell you that you being on the fence about somebody that is universally pretty much beloved, like Seth Rogen, is the least surprising thing that I've heard all day long.
And the good news is he could get some killer advice from Hoffman late at night too, right? So
What you need to do, here's what you need to do. You're not living up to
Here,
your
man.
potential.
Here's what you're doing.
so
Also,
Huff,
shout
since-
out to the tribe.
Not the Guardians, the tribe, dude. And I mean, I don't know at all. I don't mean that one way or another. I don't know.
number
Sorry.
2, Courtney Placco. She
I tell
is
you what,
on my
I
list,
feel like
and I gotta
tell
this
you-
may become a reality here pretty soon.
I'm just saying, for all the same reasons, because she doesn't buy any of our bullshit. But if she was tuned up like we get for this with a few cocktails and whatever else, I think we could spin her around and get her super involved and would be hilarious because much like the Animal Club conversation, I feel like we would face some friction while it's happening because she doesn't
100%.
want to buy in and it would force all 4 of us to dig our heels in. So I think that would be some great pod. So
Agreed.
I feel like
2,
she would actually
Courtney
turn
Placco.
into the host of the episode too, though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This is my show now, bitch.
Number 1, Morgan Freeman. Right?
Oh,
Just
shit.
because
Yeah.
Oh,
could you imagine the sound bites we could use on our new system if Morgan Freeman did one show with us.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
I love where
It
you're
would know
thinking.
fucking genius.
I'm not even sure what I would ask him. Like, wow, like,
Well, you
great
have to
guess.
ask targeted questions so that we could record him saying certain things like, Morgan, do you know what time it is?
or can you say,
Right?
"Oh, I fucked up again"?
That was awesome.
Story,
Great-
story
great-
like-
time with the Danimals.
He is yeah,
It's time
Morgan
for the
Freeman is
final
one of
four.
those voices. Yeah. He's one of those voices nobody forgets. So I thought that would be that'd be awesome. to
Great,
have
dude.
him on
Great.
board.
That was
Or you
That's
just say,
awesome.
hey, Morgan, would you say this? Hey guys, it's time for the final four. Hey guys, it's Tim Whitty time, yo.
I don't know. We have
Woot.
another addition to the Urban Dictionary.
Oh shit. So many
It's
applications.
Kyle in the wild.
These guys have bookers that ship it.
Yes,
We're
they
gonna
do.
find out.
Yes, they do.
We're
Yes, they
gonna
do.
find out.
They do.
We only have one guest request. We just talked about 50 of them. We only have one now. Get him.
If you
Make it
land
happen.
Tushy Bidet and Morgan Freeman, we are in for life.
All right, so Hoffman, you're going last.
We're
Hoffman,
recording
no.
5
wait.
podcasts a week.
You're going next. You're going last, Hoffman, right?
I already went. Matt's
Oh yeah, so it's my turn.
Hey,
Well, when you
Courtney,
said-
thank you for paying attention.
All right, so my number four is the social media guy for Tushy Bidet. Like, can you imagine that guy's like he is literally one of us. Like, I've never seen somebody own the butthole market and the dirty butthole market better than the person who's sending out the tweets for Tushy
Oh,
Bidet.
awesome.
Like,
Oh, I'm
Can
a
you,
little bit
like-
concerned that it wasn't on your list at number 2. Feels appropriate.
well, we'll get
I
there.
see what you did there, Kyle.
Yeah,
I
come on.
See
see what you
again,
did
Kyle.
there.
That's why you're fucking smarter than me. That's I own it. I'm a dummy. You know, it's I don't put 2 and 2 together. See what I did there? 2 and 2.
Oh,
This is how we got to an hour and 45 minutes. We started the final four at 45.
Yes. So that's my number 4. So number 3 is one who will be on here, but my buddy Kenny from The Bachelor. Like, I would love to
Yes.
get him on there because he's done some pretty stupid stuff and he can make fun of me too. And I would love for you guys to hear maybe some of these stories that I've told, maybe secondhand by him, and be like, now we really got to roast fucking nails, you know? So that's my number 3. My number 2 is a combo guest, and it's probably one of my favorite podcasts is the boys from Are You Garbage, like nailing those guys and like running them through their own ringer. Oh my God. You
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about electricity. Like watching Hoffman when these guys like jump on Zoom or whatnot, he would be like 6 to midnight for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, and just like thinking like, because he would, Hoffman, I guarantee would call me like, we got to think of the weirdest, craziest questions to ask these fucking guys. Like, you know,
Dude, I hit him with like one every week of something that, yeah.
are you a
Like
Patreon
what's the most amount of cars you've ever filled up at the same gas pump? Like,
oh, so I've got an answer to that one. It's 12. So
well,
when I
the
was
same gas pump?
when I was in college,
Oh,
at
shit.
the Harvard University of the Midwest, Robert Morris College. After practice, I would get the gas card, like the Robert Morris College gas card, right? And he's hey, go fill the boys' tanks up, which is totally illegal. Go fill everybody's gas tank up and take them out to Portillo's for fucking lunch after practice, right? So like we'd have a fucking line of cars, and I just
At least you paid for the gas, dude.
and then yeah, well, that was again, the stealing of the gas was in junior college.
Yeah, you grew
The
up
paying for the gas was in 4-year college.
or the university.
Yeah.
Someone's paying for this.
Well, like, I mean, I'll tell you what, like you talk
The
about like a
endowment.
$600 fucking gas card bill and then take these fucking jamokes out to fucking Portillo's afterward, which is an expensive fast food restaurant. It ain't McDonald's, you know? But yeah, Robert Morris University gas card. Just make sure I get it and give me the receipt. We all know that.
That's why they're not around anymore. 'cause
Yeah.
This guy.
That's why they got bought. And my number 1, probably my favorite comedian, Bert Kreischer. Like, I feel like I feel like him and I and all of us would just be like, man, he'd be like, you guys might even be stupider than me. You know what I mean?
After all the episodes I listened to this week, no, we're not.
Yeah.
I was telling Dan, I said,
do
I
that
feel
in
like,
person though. If we ever did that, it's got to be in person.
oh my God. I said to him,
Yeah.
I go, Dan, Bert is me when I'm in a manic, like if I've been on a fucking binge for
Yeah.
3 days, that's where my mind goes in total manic state. It scares the shit out of me on that sometimes, but yeah, Bert would be incredible for sure.
Tell us the machine story again.
Oh man, good list.
Good list,
Really
Nails. Good list.
Good stuff.
Thanks,
Good
boys.
list.
Saving the best for last as always. I like there was a lot of questions leading up to this, but
A
man,
lot of questions. I still am not 100% sure I nailed the assignment. But as far as bubble teams go, and it didn't dawn on me until a little bit ago, how could a bubble team not be Rory Markham? Gotta get
yes.
Rory.
Oh,
So
That's-
okay, so I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like, one of these fucks are gonna say this guy. One of them's gonna say this guy.
And who are you betting?
Wouldn't it be fun? I thought it'd be Hoffman for sure. I thought it for sure. It'd be Hoffman.
you make fun of Matt for not being a loyal listener. He's fucking in.
I think that there could be some serious other side of the story. Go
Oh
back
my
with-
God, I
with
never even
that.
thought about the other side of the story.
Here's why I want to break Dan's legs, and he could go on for hours.
It'd be the ultimate
like-
this or that.
Yeah, like and like now it'd be like, hey, dude, my thing would be like, dude, you won, you got her. He's like, yeah, but I didn't break your legs. It's time to pay the piper. And now that you're throwing your address all over the goddamn podcast, now I know where you live.
Halfway through the episode, he stops.
Expect
takes
a
phone
Christmas
call.
card from me.
Hand delivered. So outside of Rory, my other bubble teams, which I'm just going to sort of lump them all together, only because I feel like it's the few handful of people that would have something to talk about, is basically any of the semi-heavy hitters out of Cleveland. So, Mike Polk Jr.,
Yes.
Almost Rich, Almost Famous gals, Bridget
Yep.
and Betsy. My guy Andy Manchin, I think that's time's coming where we're going to get him on.
I
and
feel like
talk
he's soon. I feel like Andy's soon.
I feel like we can I can send him a box of beers and he'll be down to jump on, and we'll drink him in 10 minutes. But rolling into my number 4 is kind of along those same lines. Michael Simon, I think, is as much as we talk about food, especially with Washer on, talking cuisine and style. I think Michael Simon is very entertaining. He takes that spin and puts that Cleveland flavor on all of his stuff, which I truly dig. So I
Can I
think
ask you a
Michael
question?
Simon would be
Who is Michael Simon? Am I like a hard R here?
he's a celebrity chef. He was the Iron Chef for a while, one of the Iron Chefs. He's got a bunch of restaurants in Cleveland.
He's on daytime TV forever.
He's got a ton of shows on Food Network and stuff. You'd know him if you saw him. Bald guy, like
Is he
skin
better
bald.
than Chef Kevin? Would you say? Can he
I don't
cook an
know. We'll
emu
find-
neck? Can he cook an emu neck better than
I-
Chef Kevin?
I would like to get the two of them in a Iron Chef off and see. As long as I could sit there and sample their wares, I'm down for that.
And-
Like smoke
and-
show style. We just sit there and just eat everything they cook
Yeah.
and just cut it up with them the whole time.
100%.
Yeah.
You guys bring the Wagyu in.
Tell you what, we can do something like that. One of the animal clubs in Aurora when you guys come down here.
There you go. They got smokers out back, I'm sure. Number 3 on my list, and this is strictly because I would love to hear the stories, and this may be out of left field, but John Mayer. I don't have any respect
Ooh.
for the man as
Oh
a musician.
fuck yeah!
Buddy,
Fuck
I met
yes.
John Mayer one time.
I
don't-
love how we're in season 4, episode 2, and we're just finding out this dickhead's met John Mayer.
Dude, so I'm waiting. This is in 2002. 2002.
The early 2000s.
Spring 2002. And we are going up to, oh my God, what was the name of the venue up in Indy to watch John Mayer play? And it was before the whatever his big album with Your Bodies in Wonderland and all
Your
that stuff
Bo-
came out.
Yeah,
And so I'm waiting for my buddy Drew to come, and he's driving
Drew.
from- he's coming from Cincy, and we came up from Hanover, and I'm waiting out. The Vogue is the name of the venue, and I'm waiting out front for Drew. And it's when we didn't have cell phones or anything, and he's coming in and it's one of those, hey, here's where you go. He's going to get lost. And I'm like, oh, I'll just wait out front for you. And we've been there for a while. And this dude like walks out front and he's just kind of fucking standing there smoking. I'm looking for, oh, fuck, that's John Mayer. And this couple kind of walks up and like where the Vogue is kind of on the corner in Broad Ripple. Like it's pretty like where Broad Ripple Avenue is pretty busy, but it's kind of around the corner from there. And so he walks up and he's out there just kind of hanging out outside, taking it easy. I'm sitting outside smoking, and this couple like walks up and looks. They're like, "Who's that? John Mayer? You ever who's that?" And like looks over, like, "You guys going to the show?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's me. I'm playing tonight." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And like, "What kind of music do you play?" Like he was like super nonchalant, and cool about it. So then after they leave, and I'm like, "Dude, there's no way that's happened to you before." He's like, well, yeah, actually, yes, it has. And he's like, like I always like to kind of come out front and check things out and see what's going on. And yeah, he just was a nice, fucking engaging guy, like very tall, like you, Dan. Like
unlike Jessica Simpson, 6 Degrees of Separation.
Yeah. So
because didn't
totally
they date?
opposite.
Didn't they date?
Yes, they did.
Oh yeah, they
And that
were for sure.
And that
Dating.
kind of is the bow on my John Mayer request to get him on. Is yes, I'd love to hear about the musicianship. I'd love to hear about Dead and Company. I know he's tight with Chappelle. You see him on these interviews. He's very, very funny. He'd be a lot of fun to drink a couple of beers with and just chat. But more than that, just as a semi-dirty, semi-old man, I would love to hear about his list of girlfriends. Because if you read his hit list, where he's been the past 20 years,
Like, you guys are fucking stallion.
Holy cow.
Agreed.
And Ms. Simpson is on there at one point, and so is pretty much every other hot broad in Hollywood and in music. It is.
But do any of them take milk baths or take delivery donuts?
I'll put a couple questions in and find out. So that's my number 3. Number 2, only because he is a kindred spirit, not just in Cleveland, but at Kent State University. I'd love to get Drew Carey on here.
I knew Drew Carey was coming out of you. I knew it.
Drew, I don't know if you've read his book. He had a book that came out probably 20 years ago. Just a bunch of stories of when he was touring and when he was in the military and stuff from Kent. Absolutely hysterical. And he has stories for days. I would love to get Drew on here and just pick his brain about, just his past life and what he's run through. And my number 1, this is the one that's pretty happy I came up with, and I wasn't sure if it fit in with the assignment, but not just Will Ferrell, but I would like to get Will Ferrell in his characters on the show.
My God.
I'd have him come on
Jesus
as Ron
Christ.
Swanson for a segment, then come back as Ricky Bobby for a segment, then come back as Brennan from Step Brothers for his segments. Just run through some of his greatest hits, the characters that he's portrayed in character, and us interviewing all of those
I've
guys.
never heard
I think
about a
would be
podcast
awesome.
either.
Oh, it'd be awesome. We could do Will Ferrell top 4, final 4, right? Like
Oh my
our
God.
favorite final 4.
When he
Will
comes
characters.
on the podcast, Washer, you nailed it. Will Ferrell, final 4.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, it might be his first podcast.
I love how Platt goes like, I'm not sure I really get the assignment. Once again, he's wearing
Nailed
Batman,
it.
he's wearing Batman costumes, purple undies.
That's
Fucking
it.
Guy.
That's my final 4.
Yeah, I love it.
Winning. Oh my God, dude, that was amazing. You guys killed it. You guys get the good topics, and we
Good
can
energy.
we can wish things into existence. Again, for all the listeners out there, I greatly apologize for the what felt like a 3-hour Animal Club discussion that I don't know was more than 3 minutes, but
I tell you,
Kyle and I died a little bit
this is
inside.
like a record for us in terms of shortness of an episode.
Well, we tried to drag it out, but Kyle, did we miss anything, buddy?
Nothing on my end, brother.
Love that orange shirt. Don't call it red. Matthew, you miss anything, bud?
I got nothing.
I'll see you in 3 days, pal. Danimal,
Stay dangerous.